This is the Transformers The Last Knight Calibur Optimus Prime TLK number 15 by Takara Tomy. And before we begin, as always, here is a quick look at both packaging of the Armor Knight Optimus Prime and the new Calibur Optimus Prime. I was thinking, why the hell is it called Calibur? And I'm guessing Takara Tomy never got the rights to Excalibur to use it, so they called him Calibur Optimus Prime. And essentially, it is almost the same figure. There are differences, mostly or mainly in robot mode, but for purposes of this review, the alt mode is basically the same. The chrome pieces are chrome here where they're chrome here, and the look and feel where it should be, where places should be, is the same. The main difference is in the robot mode, as you can see, which we'll talk about later in alt mode, because he's got more accessories, different accessories here. But the paint apps, even in robot mode, is very similar. So just for the alt mode, just to finish off the alt mode, it's basically the same truck mode, the Western Star truck mode. And the major difference, which you'll notice, which I will show later, is the plastic, the kind of blue they used for Calibur Optimus Prime, which is more of a flake, glossy, sideswipe, Transformers Universe sideswipe type of plastic, whereas this one is more of a metallic, slight metallic, dark, deeper blue type of plastic. And that's basically the main difference in alt mode. So also you will notice that the new packaging is much thinner than the old packaging, for obvious reasons, because this one still had the backpack attached or permanently fixed to the robot mode, while this one now becomes the shield, which we'll get into later in transformation. Basic The Last Knight packaging, and this one is Age of Extinction packaging. I do miss that chrome stamp on the packaging, but yeah, fantastic artwork on this one. So there's a sticker here that says it comes with a free movie 1 blade. Movie 1, 2, and 3 Optimus Prime blade. So here they are, both in robot mode, and man, do they look fantastic. And as I was mentioning earlier, the best way to show you guys the differences in plastic is this one. As you can see, this one is a little bit glossier, more, let me just see if I can give you a close-up, glossier finish to it. There's more flake to it. This one less glossy, but has that metallic sheen to it, and a deeper kind of blue. That's basically the main difference in paint apps, which you will notice in truck mode more than in robot mode. Okay, let's get rid of their accessories. Before we do that, let me just stand him up. So you will notice it's the exact same mold, almost the exact same mold. This one, obviously, does not have that chunky backpack anymore, which is great, which gives it a more authentic feel, a more realistic silhouette to the Optimus Prime figure. Let me just quickly stand him up. You can see they're still the same, just that missing backpack. Okay. If you notice also, it's not just because of my lighting. The silver they used is a little bit, just a tad bit brighter on this one. Again, less metallic on this one. This one is like a deeper, bordering on gunmetal gray, but it's not. It's like a deeper kind of silver. This is more of a shinier type of silver. Even the head sculpt. Sorry about the weapons. I want to show you how to remove the weapons. I want to make a point on that later. But even the head sculpt, as you can see, the old Armor Knight Optimus Prime has a deeper type of silver to it. Let me put some light on it. Even the blue paint they used, very similar. But this one is a much deeper type of blue, and I think he's got a better disposition in terms of the paint apps than this one. But where the blue or the the breastplate. This one has a deeper type of red. This more has a faded type of red. Let me get rid of the shield just for a bit. As you can see, with the arms, the red here is more metallic. This one is more flat but glossy. But the red here is brighter. It's much more like an Optimus Prime. This one is a little bit more faded, as you can see. So yeah, so we don't have to talk about, so I don't have to get him into alt mode. Really, I don't want to transform this guy twice in one review. Okay, now on to this figure. Let's talk about the accessories. I wanted to make a point on the accessories. The accessories, I think Takara Tomy had adjusted them to make them more pliable. And the reason for that is so that they're a lot easier to mount on the fists, specifically the sword. Now let's look at the Sword of Justice. It's still called the Sword of Justice, I think, or is it now called Excalibur? The Armor Knight Sword of Justice is actually made of a more brittle type of plastic, and I can tell you that because on mine, that bit broke when I tried to force that into his hand, and it was a clearance issue, and yeah, it absolutely broke. I'm kind of pissed about it because it is a Takara figure, and yeah, there's nothing I can do about it. Whether I glue it back on or not, it's going to stay broken, and you can never mount the Optimus's hand on this side. You'll have to do it here. I didn't want to risk it anymore because it's going to break again. So it's a little bit more brittle. What they did, I think, they used the same mold, but this is more pliable. Even the handle is a little bit more pliable, and so much so that when you try and force it and you stick it in between his fist, there's no risk of breakage or anything like that. So very nice. Well done, Takara. Thank you for that. The Vector Shield, no longer existent, or Sentinel Shield, however you want to call it. Vector Shield, I suppose. And it's now been replaced with this much bigger shield. And you're wondering why they gave him such a bigger shield. They've given him sort of like that Striker Optimus Prime vibe, if you know what I'm talking about. You didn't know what I'm talking about. It's a Takara premium series of leader class Optimus Prime. It's the Striker Optimus Prime which formed like the front part of the cab, but which made it more angled. Sort of that vibe, but not really. It looks like an ancient knight's shield, but done in angles so that it makes it look like Cybertronian. But as you can see, the wheels, the rear end of the truck is actually here. Now, if you've seen in some of my reviews, I'm not a big fan of these parts former, that parts of that they turn into shields or weapons. But in this particular case, I'll have to make an exception. It actually works for me. I'm not too bothered by it for some reason. I know I'm being weird and all that, but I have that thing about parts former, but that one works for me. Now on to the axe. It's the same thing. The handle is made of that soft, more pliable type of PVC material. The axe, even the axe is a little bit more pliable. Now, as you can see, the handle part is here, or you can also have him hold it here, midway through the axe. Or if you want a more balanced axe, you can opt to remove the blade, the axe blade, and move it here so that it feels like a little bit more balanced, and he can hold it this way. So either way is fine. So those are the accessories. Those are the main differences for Optimus Prime, Armor Knight, and this new Calibur Optimus Prime. Paint apps, plastic they used, and the accessories. Now, accessories do fit here. There is a new way to fit it. In the old Optimus Prime, it only has the sword holder, which is here, which is part of this whole back assembly. Now they've actually made a piece that actually folds in and out for transformation. That will hold. I snap that back right there. That will hold Excalibur, or the shield, Sword of Justice, as well as his battle axe. You're probably wondering why he uses an axe. You didn't grow up in G1. You're wondering, why does he have an axe? Oh, sorry. The axe fits here in this notch, not in the handle notch, but in this notch. And back in G1, Megatron had the flail, and then he had the battle axe come out of their hand. So I guess it's appropriate that he has that axe. So just to back him up, just give you an idea about this guy. How tall he is? Well, not really. Very, very nice. And I thought he would reach 12 inches. He is just about 9 inches tall, as you can see. Not bad for a leader class. Now, he does have this one. Now, it's a little bit disappointing. This is actually, the reference is from how Optimus Prime wielded the blade that came out of his arm from Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen, and Dark of the Moon, and it should come out here, but it doesn't fit anywhere. I thought the peg was wide enough to fit the shield peg. It's not. There is that notch right there, which will allow you to mount it on his fists. Just be very careful. It's made of that brittle material, so I'm not going to force it in. But you can put it in his hand, and he can wield it just like a regular sword, which kind of sucks, because this is supposed to be like a sword coming out of his hand. Now, the shield has a peg right here. It's a very big peg. You can peg it on either hand, and it will stay there. Sorry, that's my bad. It will stay there. It just didn't peg it all the way in. And is he... What am I doing? I'm like making a fool out of myself right now. Sorry, folks. Okay. As I was saying, it will stay on either hand. And it's okay. I'm not really big on this. I think it's a great look to him. Makes him more look like a knight. An Optimus Prime knight. But... you can, if you really want to make him movie accurate, and you don't have to pose him with the shield. The shield also will attach here so that he can effectively carry his shield in robot mode as well. If I can just, okay, there we go. So a little bit angled so that I could push it in, but I suppose you're supposed to mount that on when the weapons are not attached, or at least when the sword's not attached. You should be able to fit the sword in. I don't understand why you can't. Okay, so there you go. Very, very cool. Okay. Get rid of these. And on to transformation. It transforms exactly the same. The main difference is really when you do transform the shield. So we'll just run through this. You can fast forward to the end of the video, to the part of the video where you want to see how the shield transforms. But if you haven't gotten this figure yet and you still want to see how it transforms, then do watch on. Open this part and you can depress that head. It still has that gimmick. And speaking of the head sculpt, it still has that face change gimmick. You can, if you want a more like a Optimus Prime with a face mask, that could work too. So open this up, fold it down, and this one you can effectively already connect it this way so that it's really just out of the way. Okay, rotate the arms this way and this way, fold the thumbs, rotate the arms, fold in this way, okay, and just do that so you can fold the side skirts. The side skirts, they fold this way. Make sure you fold all the hinges out. And then there's an inner hinge, which Takara Tomy instructions are very, very specific about. You have to fold it this way so that you don't end up breaking it. And then just fold the flaps out like that to prepare it to fold inward. Sorry about that. I forgot to show about the instructions. Instructions are very nice. They're very concise. Easy to follow set of instructions. Very, very nice. Okay, fold this one up here. Rotate the waist like that. Okay. Then you got to transform the legs. Fold the feet inward like that. Go ahead and just leave a gap between the thighs. My bad. Fold the wheels like that and align them. That. Then rotate that whole foot assembly up, and this one, there's a flap right here that folds inward. Getting light. Okay, there we go. Fold like that. Should just stay there. Don't worry about it if it's not aligned or anything like that. It's gonna fix itself later on. Then this one, just fold it like this. The chrome grill, or the chrome front bumper. Okay. Do the same on the other side. Fold it like this. Just straighten it out. Don't worry about it too much. And just fold the front grille or bumper like that. Okay. And then combine both legs. Make sure they are properly aligned before you do anything. Otherwise, you risk breaking the tabs. It's exactly the same as Armor Knight. No big deal. Okay. Just make sure everything's tight and snug. Okay. And then rotate that whole midsection right there. Make sure that front part of his armor is right there. And the chest piece is just sitting like that. They don't tab into anything or anything like that. They just sit like that. Just keep it a little bit above so it clears the shoulders. Fold the shoulders in like this. Don't worry about it too much. They just stay like that. All right. The arms just stay like that. Okay. And with that, why don't we just finish transforming this before we go to the shield? Tab these right here. They sort of tab into those, but not really. They just stay like that. They should be flush. They should fold flush and without too much gaps anywhere like that. And you should be fine. They don't really tab in tight or anything like that. So there. And then I think you can close this one. Just fold that whole cab roof right there. There, and then just tab in those pegs right there on the roof. Okay. Very simple, very easy to transform, nothing to it. And with that, that's the front part of Optimus's truck. And this, amazingly, forms the other half of the truck. Okay, so in robot mode, it pegs in this way. But when you transform him in alt mode, you gotta fold this one in. Got to raise all those where the axe and sword holder, flip it like that, and they're going to squeeze in right there, and then this bigger hole is going to squeeze in right there. Okay, just fold it in like that, and you should be good. Okay, now fold these two pieces, these bronze pieces inward. It can be tricky, but just be very careful when you're folding it. They tend to snap back. Okay, fold these out like that. Fold these out like this. Fold out these pieces like that. Fold these out like this. Fold, just like lower it like that. You should be okay. And then detach this piece, this blue piece, not the shield piece, like that. And form it like that. And you should be okay at this point. Okay. Make sure you've rotated the gas tank properly so that it's aligned. Like mine, I haven't done it, so you gotta just be careful. You don't want to break those tabs. And just fold these pieces like so. Okay. That. And these pieces should just tab in here. Like that. And these other pieces should just cover up the arms. Excuse me. Like that. And like this. Okay. A little bit of a puzzle forming transformation, but that's it. Lastly, you want to do this. They just tab in to those peg holes right there. So just be careful. You don't want to break anything. Okay. And there you go. There is Optimus in his truck mode. Just show you. The axe will fit in right here. The sword, excuse me, fits in right here. You can still see bits and pieces here and there, even in truck mode. That's okay. It doesn't bother me too much. And then this sword, you can opt to put it or not put it, but I think it will fit. It does. The instructions don't say anything, but that's the best place I can see where it fits, because there's no other place here to fit without ruining or scratching anything. So there you go. It's a great truck mode. It looks exactly the same as I mentioned with Armor Knight, except for the weapon storage and all that. But the blue is much different. Again, just to refresh you guys, it's a little glossier. This one's more metallic. I love the deep blue here, but I do love how the red here is much brighter, much more vibrant, and that glossy feel, that glossy shine on Optimus. And I like this one a lot better. So, what do? Do you sell the Armor Knight for this one or trade up? I don't know. Maybe if you just want to keep one Optimus Prime figure, one Knight, the Ancient Knight type of mold Optimus Prime on your shelf, fine. Yeah, I suppose you could sell the Armor Knight because this is the one you want to keep. But the Armor Knight, not take anything away from it, is a very, very good figure, and I'm very, very happy with this one. But yeah, this is the new Optimus Prime. This is the new standard, the more definitive Optimus Prime for Age of Extinction and the Last Knight. So yeah. So there you go, folks. I do hope you've enjoyed this little video review. I apologize for the length, but it's a great figure. I picked up the figure at R Toys. It's a little bit pricey. You set you back about $90 to $100, but it really is a very, very good Optimus Prime figure, a very definitive Optimus Prime figure, at least for the Transformers 4 and 5 movies. There you go, folks. The Transformers, The Last Knight, Calibur Optimus Prime by Takara Chefatron. Thanks for watching.